So the Adi Lila describes Lord Chaitanya's pastimes up to his taking sannyas.
阿迪利勒所描述的Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu 的消时光呢，是一直到他接受散雅启迪的这段时间之前的事情。
And then the Madhya Lila is dealing with Lord Chaitanya's pastimes immediately after taking sannyas and his travelling in South India and travelling around India.
然后Madhya Lila所记述的Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu 的消时光呢，是从他接受散雅启迪之后，一直到他在南印度旅行，一直在整个印度旅行期间所发生的事情。
And the Madhya Lila is concerning the final years of Lord Caitanya Mahaprabhu, where he was residing in Jagannath Puri.
Madhya Lila 所讲述的是Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu 的生命的最后阶段，当他居住在 Jagannath Puri 的时候所发生的事情。
So we thought it'd be interesting to hear about Lord Chaitanya traveling to the different holy places around India and the different people he met and the preaching he did.
所以我们觉得呢，大家可能有兴趣来聆听Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu 在南印度以及在印度旅行的时候，他所从事的那些活动，以及他所遇到的人，这些方面的这些事情。
Devotees often get great pleasure from hearing about Lord Chaitanya's pastimes in these different places. So we hope all of you will also get some pleasure from hearing these pastimes.
当奉献者聆听Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu 在这些地方所从事的活动的时候呢，都是非常的快乐的、开心的。所以我们也希望我们通过这些逍遥时光的展示呢，也能够使聆听的奉献者们感到内心非常的喜乐。
So if I ask some questions to the devotees, is it possible they can reply, Dhanakeli?
Yes. But let me clarify with Janaka Prabhu. Janaka Prabhu, 如果是 Maharaj 要是问奉献者一些问题的话，奉献者能够实时的和Maharaj 来进行沟通吗？
可以。
可以是吧？
因为有时候怕他们不小心打开了麦，就有干扰，所以有时候是静止的状态。如果是需要他们说话的时候，就会开放，就会把那个话筒就允许他们打开。
Maharaj got that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
是全程允许他们打开呢，还是现在讲课的时候把它关起来
Yeah. Basically, while you are speaking, Janaka Prabhu, he mute all of the devotees because if one of them by accident have the microphone on, there was some of the disturbance.
Yeah, I know.
Some noise.
Yeah. Okay, so well, we'll try it. Let's see how it goes.
Okay. And so means about Janaka Prabhu has to be very alert because he always need to be there to be ready to allow the devotee to speak.
Okay.
To speak. Yeah.
So let's begin. Let's ask devotees a question. Do they know?
Okay.
Did they know what age was Lord Chaitanya when he took sannyas?
Which year, right?
What age? How old was he?
OK，现在Maharaj就想问奉献者一个问题，大家谁知道Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu 是多大岁数的时候成为sannyasi的？有哪位同学想回答？
是24岁。
Oh, very good. Yeah, thank you. Who answered? Who gave the answer?
谁回答的这个问题？刚才
Charitra. Oh, very good. Okay, yes.
非常好。
And how many years was Lord Chaitanya how many years was he manifest in this world? In other words, what age was he when he disappeared?
Yeah, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu 在这个星球显现了多长时间？也就是说，他是多大岁数隐迹的？Caritamrta Prabhu said 48.
Yes, right. So you can see half the life was a sannyasi.
所以我们可以看到Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu 呢，他有半生都是以sannyasi的形式度过的。
Right? So he took sannyas at it was at the end of his 24th year.
所以呢，他是在24周岁末的时候呢，接受了散亚西洗礼。
And he took the sannyas in the month of Magh. Month of Magh means January, February, means the cold time of the year.
他是在12个月，也就是在一年的1月和2月接受的散亚西洗礼。也就是说呢，在这一年里面是冬天很冷的时候。
Right? Lord Caitanya was here in Mayapur as a householder. But when he went to take sannyas, he swam across the Ganga and went to a place called Katwa.
那所以Caitanya Mahaprabhu呢，当时是居住在玛雅普，是一位居士。但是当他想要这个接受散亚西洗礼的时候呢，他就跨越了恒河，来到了一个叫Katwa的地方。
Yeah. So he swam across the Ganga and then he walked up to Katwa, and some other devotees who he told a few devotees that he was going to take sannyas, so a few of them came there.
他呢就跨越了恒河，来到了向 Kratwa 这个地方去。然后呢，他和一些奉献者讲述了他想成为散亚西的这个心愿，所以呢，有一些奉献者就跟着他一起去了。
So after he took sannyas, Lord Caitanya immediately wanted to go to Vrindavan because he was so much in love for Krishna.
当时Caitanya Mahaprabhu接受了散亚西洗礼之后呢，他立刻就希望能够去到文达文，因为他对 Sri Krishna 有那么多的爱。
But what happened was he got tricked by Lord Nityananda.
但是所发生的事情是什么呢？就是他被主 Nityananda 给戏弄了。
Lord Nityananda played a little trick on him because
主 Nityananda 在他身上耍了一点小花招。
Lord Caitanya, after taking sannyas, he was in ecstasy and he wanted to go to Vrindavan, and he was reciting the sannyasi mantra.
当时Caitanya Mahaprabhu接受了散亚西洗礼之后呢，他非常的急乐，他就希望赶紧去文达文，并且呢，他还在念诵着散亚西要念诵的 mantra。
Yeah, there's a mantra which is in the Srimad Bhagavatam, and it's spoken by the Brahmana from Avanti Desh.
那么这个散亚西的这个 mantra 呢，是记录在圣典博迦瓦坛的。它是由一位从 Avanti Desh 的婆罗门所念诵的。
So all the sannyasis, when they take sannyas, they're given this mantra to recite.
所有的散亚西，当他们接受散亚西的洗礼之后呢，他们都会得到这个曼陀罗来念诵。
So Lord Caitanya was in ecstasy and he was reciting this mantra.
所以主Caitanya Mahaprabhu呢，他就处在极乐之中，他在念诵着这个曼陀罗。
The mantra says that I will cross over the material ocean by being fixed in service to the lotus feet of Krishna.
这个曼陀罗里讲到了，我要跨越这物质之洋的河流，并且呢，让我的心意专注在对主 Krishna 的莲花族的服务之中。
All the acharyas, all the previous acharyas, all had devotion for the Lord, who is the Paramatma, who is the supreme personality of Godhead.
那么所有的之前的先世的 acharya 们，他们都对至尊主有非常的强烈的慈爱之心，他们都对至尊主的莲花族有着炽烈的服务之心。
So this mantra is very important to give the sannyasi the determination to keep the vow of renunciation.
所以呢，这个曼陀罗对于散亚西来说呢是非常重要的，因为这个呢能够使他们把守着他们要进行弃绝的誓言。
One has to be determined to stay in the service of Krishna and not to be attracted by the material energy.
所以这个人呢，他就必须要非常心坚意稳的让自己处于对 Krishna 的服务之中，而不是被物质的能量所吸引。
The real purpose of sannyas is to give service to Krishna.
Sannyasi 他真正的目的呢，是要把他的服务献给 Krishna。
And by serving Krishna, then you get free from material life.
那当你通过服务 Krishna 呢，你就能够从物质的生活中摆脱出来。
So Lord Caitanya decided to go to Vrindavan, that he thought in Vrindavan he can do proper service to Krishna.
所以主 Caitanya Mahaprabhu 呢，就决定要去到文达文，因为他觉得在文达文就可以为 Krishna 做全人的奉爱服务。
He thought in Vrindavan I'll find a nice quiet place and I will absorb myself in service to Krishna.
那到了文达文呢，我要在那儿找一个非常好的、非常安静的地方，然后呢，把我完全的沉醉在对 Krishna 的服务之中。
But because Lord Caitanya was in so much ecstasy, he was feeling so happy, so joyful, that he didn't know which way he was going. He didn't even know if it was day or night.
但是呢，因为主 Caitanya Mahaprabhu 呢，当时是完全处在这种极乐的狂喜之中，他太开心了，所以呢，他根本就不知道该往什么地方走，而且他甚至于连白天黑夜他都已经分不清楚了。
So there were a few devotees following with Lord Caitanya. There was Nityananda, and there was Mukunda and Chandrasekhar, and they were going with Lord Caitanya. They were following him.
那么当时呢，有几位奉献者是跟着 Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu 一起去的，他们分别是主 Nityananda、Mukunda、Chandrasekhar。
So whenever Lord Caitanya would meet people, he would chant the holy name to them, and he would request them also to chant.
所以 Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu 他无论走到哪儿，他所遇到的人们呢，他都会把圣名给他们，并且呢，他会给他们唱诵圣名，也请求他们和他一起来唱诵圣名。
Lord Caitanya was, it's a country. He was in the countryside. He was following the Ganga, following the river Ganges, and there were cows and there were cowherd boys. And Lord Caitanya would get all the cowherd boys to chant Hari Hari, and they would all chant. They would all become joyful when they saw Lord Caitanya.
那么主 Chaitanya Mahaprabhu 呢，他是在乡村里面沿着恒河这样走的，所以呢，他就会遇到一些牧牛童，会遇到一些牛，然后呢，当他遇到这些牧牛童的时候呢，他就会让他们唱 Hari Hari， 然后所有的这些牧牛童们就跟着他一起唱，而且他们也特别的开心。
Lord Caitanya would put his hand on their head and tell them, "Very nice, keep chanting like this."
然后主 Chaitanya 呢，就会把他的手放在这些牧牛童的头上，并且会说：“唱得太好，就这么接着唱。”
And Lord Caitanya felt that this is success. When people chant the holy name, then my mission is successful.
然后主 Chaitanya Mahaprabhu 呢，觉得这就是一个成功。如果要是人们能够念诵圣名的话，那这就是我的成功。
So then Lord Nityananda, he told these cowherd boys, he said, if Chaitanya asks you about the way to Vrindavan, show him the path by the Ganges.
然后呢，主 Nityananda Prabhu 就对这些牧牛童说，如果要是主 Chaitanya 要是向你们问去稳达文的这个方向的话，那你就给他指通向恒河的这个方向。
So Lord Caitanya, in this way, was following the Ganga, and he was thinking, this is the way to Vrindavan.
所以呢，就这样，所以 Chaitanya Mahaprabhu 呢，他就沿着恒河走，他以为这就是在去向稳达文的路。
But Lord Nityananda also sent a devotee to go to Advaita Acharya's house, because Advaita Acharya's house is on this path.
但是呢，主 Nityananda Prabhu 呢，他也派了一位奉献者去到 Advaita Acharya 的家，因为 Advaita Acharya 的家呢也在这条路上。
So Lord Nityananda gave instructions. He said, tell Advaita Acharya he should come with a boat, and he should come along the Ganga.
然后呢，他就这样去指示 Advaita Acharya 说呢， 让 Advaitacharya 划着船来到恒河。
So I will bring Lord Caitanya and all the devotees will all come there to Advaitacharya's house in Shantipur.
那我呢会带着主 Caitanya Mahaprabhu 还有这些奉献者们来到 Advaitacharya 在 Shantipur 的家。
And at this time you go to Navadvip and you tell Mother Sachi and all the devotees that if they want to come and see Lord Caitanya as a sannyasi, now they can come to Shantipur and they will see how Lord Caitanya has become a sannyasi.
那么与此同时呢，你也要到这个 Navadvip 去，然后通知撒奇妈妈以及在那儿的所有的这些奉献者们，看看有谁想要来见见已经成为了散压系的 Caitanya Mahaprabhu。如果要是你愿意的话呢，就现在来到Shantipur 的 Advaitacharya 的家里面来拜望成为了散压系的主。
So Lord Nityananda was going to go to Advaita's house, and Lord Caitanya asked him, "Where are you going?"
所以呢，主 Nityananda 呢就准备要到Advaitacharya 的家里，然后主 Caitanya Mahaprabhu 就问他：“你去哪儿啊？”
And Lord Nityananda said, "I'm going to Vrindavan with you."
然后主 Nityananda 说：“我和你一块儿去稳达文。”
So then Lord Caitanya asked Lord Nityananda, he said, "How far is it now to Vrindavan?"
然后主 Caitanya Mahaprabhu 就问主 Nityananda：“ 现在离稳达文还有多远呀？”
So Lord Nityananda said, "Well, here's the river Yamuna." He said, "This is the Yamuna River, so it can't be very far."
然后呢，主 Nityananda 就说：“现在这已经是雅穆纳河了，所以说呢，稳达文应该不远了。”
And when Lord Caitanya came there, he saw the river. He didn't know it was the Ganga. He thought it was the Yamuna because Lord Nityananda had told him this is the Yamuna.
所以说呢，当主 Caitanya Mahaprabhu 来到这河边的时候呢，看到恒河的时候，他并不知道这是恒河，他以为是雅穆纳河，因为主 Nityananda 跟他说这是雅穆纳河。
So Lord Caitanya began to offer prayers to the Yamuna. He was so happy, oh, the Yamuna, and he began to offer nice prayers glorifying the Yamuna.
所以说呢，主 Caitanya Mahaprabhu 看到雅穆纳河以后呢，就特别的开心，然后呢就开始向雅穆纳河献上祷文，荣耀雅穆纳河。
Yeah, because Yamuna River, the water of the Yamuna is the same as the water of the spiritual world.
因为雅穆纳河的河水呢，和灵性世界的水没有任何区别。
And it can destroy all of our offenses and all of our sinful reactions.
那它会驱散掉我们所有的罪恶的反应，以及我们所有的冒犯。
And so the Yamuna is the daughter of the sun god.
雅穆纳她是太阳神的女儿。
So definitely we get a lot of purification just by the touch of the Yamuna water.
所以说呢，仅仅是通过触碰雅穆纳河水，就能够得到很多的净化。
So the Lord Caitanya recited this mantra and then he took his bath.
然后呢，主 Caitanya Mahaprabhu 呢，他就念诵了献上荣耀雅穆纳河的曼陀罗，然后呢，他就开始在雅穆纳河里沐浴。
But Lord Caitanya had just taken sannyas. He didn't have any extra cloth. He only had one set of cloth. And he'd gone in the Ganga and taken bath. So he was standing there in all the wet cloth.
但是主 Caitanya Mahaprabhu 呢，因为刚刚才接受了散压系起衣，所以呢，他只有这一身衣服，他没有多余的这个衣服。所以呢，当他沐浴完了之后呢，他就站在这个河里，穿着他这个湿衣服。
But just at that time, Advaitacharya came in the boat, and he brought with him new cloth.
就在这会儿呢，Advaitacharya 划着船来了，并且给他带来了新的衣服。
So Advaitacharya came and he bowed down before Lord Caitanya Mahaprabhu, and Lord Caitanya was puzzled. He thought, well, how is it Advaitacharya is here? But this is Vrindavan. How did he get to Vrindavan?
然后呢，Advaitacharya 见到主以后呢，他就向主顶拜，然后向主来献上祷文。可是这会儿呢，主 Caitanya Mahaprabhu 就觉得很困惑了。这不是稳达文吗？可是Advaitacharya 怎么会在这儿呢？他怎么会来到稳达文呢？
So Advaitacharya told Lord Caitanya, he said, actually this is the Ganga, this is not the Yamuna. But he said anyway to Lord Caitanya, he said, wherever you are, that is Vrindavan.
然后 Advaita Acharya 就对 Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu 说，这儿其实不是文达文，这儿其实是恒河，但是只要有主您在的地方，这个地方它就是文达文。
So Advaita Acharya is very happy Lord Chaitanya has come to his place.
所以 Advaita Acharya 呢就非常的开心，因为主 Chaitanya Mahaprabhu 来到了他的地方。
But Lord Chaitanya is a bit upset. He said, Nityananda cheated me. He told me this was the Yamuna, and it wasn't, it was the Ganga. Why did he cheat me?
但是呢，所以 Chaitanya Mahaprabhu 这会儿可有些气恼，他说 Nityananda 他骗了我，他跟我说这是雅木那，可是这是Ganga，他为什么要骗我呢？
But Advaita Acharya said, no. I said, actually, he said, Nityananda told you the truth. He said, where you took your bath, that is the river Yamuna.
但是Advaita Acharya 说不是的，事实上 Nityananda 他是跟你说了实话，因为无论您在哪里沐浴，那个地方它就是成为了雅木那。
No, not like that.
不是这样的。
That place where you took your bath, that is the Yamuna, but not every place is Yamuna.
您所沐浴的那个地方是雅木那，并不是所有地方都是雅木那。
Because the Yamuna comes into the Ganga. So the side where the Yamuna joins the Ganga, that was the side where Lord Chaitanya took his bath.
因为这个雅木那呢是来自于 Ganga 的。Yamuna is from Ganga or Ganga from Yamuna? Sorry, Maharaj.
The Yamuna joins into the Ganga.
OK， 是这个雅木那它并入了恒河。那么就是在就是 Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu 他沐浴的那个地方，那个地方是雅木那。
Yeah, the Yamuna comes in on the western side.
那雅木那呢是从西边过来的。
Yeah, so the eastern side is the Ganga, but the western side is where the Yamuna comes in.
所以说呢，这个河的东边是恒河，那么西边呢就是雅木那所过来的地方。
And Lord Chaitanya, he took his bath on the western side, so that was the Yamuna.
那主Chaitanya Mahaprabhu呢，他是在这个河的西边沐浴的，所以呢那边其实就属于雅木那的。
And so Advaita Acharya gave Lord Chaitanya nice new cloth, dry cloth, because all of his cloth was all wet, he'd been taking bath.
因为Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu 在沐浴的时候呢，他的衣服全都湿掉了，所以呢Advaita Acharya 就把干净的新的衣服提供给了主。
And Advaita Acharya said, I know you haven't taken proper food for the last 3 days. You've been walking for 3 days to come here. So why don't you come to my house now and we will have proper prasadam for you.
然后Advaita Acharya 说呢，因为在过去的3天里面，您都一直在行走，所以呢，您也没有吃上这个舒服合适的prasadam，所以为什么您现在干脆到我们家来，然后呢，我们给您提供一些很好的prasadam呢？
So he knows Lord Chaitanya has just taken sannyas. He wants to be very renounced. So Advaita tells him, at my home we just have very simple food.
但是呢，他知道 Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu 因为才刚刚接受了sannyasi起义，所以呢，他希望过一种很奇绝的生活，所以他就对他说，在我们家里边都是特别简单的食物。
I just have a little bit of rice. The vegetables are all very simple. No luxury food.
我们就只是给您吃一点米饭，吃一点蔬菜，都是非常简单的烹制的，所以不会给您吃非常的盛大的食物。
Just a little wet vegetable with some green leaves.
就是给您一些就是有枝叶的这个蔬菜，然后再给您一些绿叶菜。
So Lord Chaitanya thought, well, that's okay. Okay, yeah, I'll come with you. I'll come to your house. So they got in the boat and they went to Shantipur, to the home of Advaita Acharya.
所以呢，Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu 说呢，那好吧，好吧，我跟你一块儿回家去。所以呢，他就坐上了Advaita Acharya的这个船，他们就一起就划回了Shantipur的家。
So when they got to Advaita's house, they saw Advaita Acharya's wife, Sita. She'd done all the cooking. She'd personally prepared everything, and they were offering everything in the temple to Lord Vishnu.
然后呢，当他来到山陀的家的之后呢，他就见到了Adwaita Acharya的妻子 Sita。那 Sita 妈妈呢，她是烹制所有的这些食物的人，而且呢，她也为他们的 Vishnu 的这个庙来做供奉的食物。
Prabhupada says this is ideal householder life.
舍爸爸说呢，这是最理想的居士生活。
The husband will work hard to get paraphernalia to worship the Lord.
那家里的丈夫呢，会努力的工作，并且呢，去挣得能够崇拜主所用的这些物品。
And the wife is at home cooking foodstuffs to offer to the Lord.
而妻子呢，会在家里面，做这个供给主的餐食。
And the husband offers it to the deity.
然后呢，供奉神像的时候呢，是由丈夫来供奉的。
And then they perform arti, and then they distribute prasadam.
然后呢，他们一块儿来进行 arti， 并且呢，派发 prasadam。
And they distribute prasadam not only to the family, but there must also be some guests there.
他们并不仅仅是给自己的家人提供 prasadam， 在他们家呢，还应该有些客人。
Just like people would ask Prabhupada, what is my duty now in family and householder life? And Prabhupada would say, whenever you cook, after you've cooked, you go to the door and you say, food is now ready in my house. Anybody who wants to take food, they can come and eat.
那么，就像有一些这个居士，他就向舍帕帕询问说：“我现在是居士，那我应该履行什么样的居士职责呢？”舍帕帕的回答就是：“当你做好你的餐食之后，供奉完了以后，你就应该在门口喊一声：‘现在我们家的饭都做好了，你们只要能来吃，就赶紧上我们家来吃饭吧。’
So Prabhupada said, when he was a child, it was like that in his home every day.
舍爸爸说，当他还是一个孩童的时候，他们家每天都是这样的。
He said, Prabhupada said, not less than 4 guests every day.
舍爸爸说，他们家每天都至少有4位客人。
And he said, my father was not a rich man. He didn't have a lot of money.
他说，但是我的父亲呢，并不是一个富人，他并没有那么多钱。
But whatever little income they had, they would use it, they would cook food, and they would bring people to eat.
但是呢，他只要有一点钱，他就会把这个钱来买吃的，然后呢，把这个吃的做好之后呢，请人来吃饭。
So this is the Vedic culture. But you can see how we're lacking in the culture today.
那么这个呢，就是伟大的文化，但是我们也能够看到，现在我们的伟大文化是非常的缺失的。
Prabhupada said, even if there's not much left, he should offer his own portion to the guest.
舍爸爸说，就即便是我们家吃的不多的话，我们也得把我们自己吃的那一份献给客人。
I said, but if nobody comes when you call out, if there's nobody coming to get the food, then you can go ahead, you can take.
但是如果你要是在外面吼了半天，然后还没有人来你们家吃饭的话，那你就可以把自己家那吃的给吃了。
And so this is the austerity for householder life.
所以这个呢，是作为居士生活所应该承受的苦行。
So this is called the Grihastha Ashram, that you live in Krishna consciousness.
那么这个被称为叫 Grihastha Ashram， 也就是说呢，在 Krishna 知觉中的生活。
But if we're not following these kind of principles, if we're just only in material life, then it's not Grihastha Ashram, it's Grihamedi Ashram, Grihamedi's house.
但是如果我们要是只是过一个物质的生活，而不是以这样的方式去过日子的话，那这就不是 Grihastha Ashram， 这就变成了 Grihamedi 的 Ashram。
So Adwaita Prabhu, Adwaita Acharya, he was the ideal Grihastha, and his home was the ashram.
所以说呢，Adwaita Caritamrta 呢，他是一位完美的 Grihastha， 所以呢，他的家里边呢就是Grihastha 的 ashram。
So they had, Adwaita Acharya's wife had prepared all the food, and they arranged the offering, and there were 3 different places in front of the altar for Krishna.
然后呢，Caitanya 的妻子呢就做好了食物之后呢，他们就把这个食物进行了供奉。那么在家里面呢，在神坛上呢有3处 Krishna 的神像，所以呢，他们就把这3个不同的这个神像都进行了供奉。
Yeah, in the middle there was the metal plate for Krishna, a big metal plate.
那么在中间呢是摆着一个由金属的盘子所盛的这个盘子，供奉给 Krishna。
And on either side they had banana leaves, and the banana leaves were covered with so many different preparations of a big pile of rice with a ghee in it, and then all different preparations on the side.
然后这两边的这2个盘子呢是由香蕉叶所盛着的食物。那这里面呢有这个一大堆，就是有一大包的这个米，那么这个米呢是由这个酥油所烹制的，然后还有各种各样的佳肴，各种各样的餐食。
And there were so many different vegetables, and there was different beans and dals, and different sweets and cakes.
有各种各样的蔬菜的，有各种各样烹制出来的蔬菜，还有豆汤，还有豆类，还有甜品、糕点。
And then they had the Bengali preparation with very famous sukta. Sukta means like a bitter kind of melon sabji mixed with different yogurt and other vegetables.
然后还有一个就是以孟加拉的风格所烹制的，被称为叫 Bikta 的一种菜肴。那它呢就好像是一种苦瓜，然后和其他的一些酸奶所混制在一起的一种餐食。
So there were 5 different kinds of sukta.
有5种不同的 sukta。
And then there was salads, and there was also different preparations made from neem leaves and eggplant.
那还有就是salad， 就是沙拉，还有呢有用这种新叶或者还有用茄子所烹制的各种各样不同的食物。
There was preparations made from coconut, from the coconut pulp, from the meat of the coconut, and there was preparations made from curd.
还有就是用这个椰肉所烹制的食物，还有用 curd， 就是这个凝乳所烹制的食物。
One of Lord Chaitanya's favorite preparations was the banana flour when it's cooked and boiled in milk.
还有一个是 Caitanya Caritamrta 非常著名的喜欢吃到一道餐食呢，它是用香蕉花来烹制的餐食，它里面放一些油。
And then some cakes were sweet and some were sour.
那这些味道呢，有些是甜的，有些是酸的。
So there were so many there were cakes made with ripe bananas, and there were cakes made with urd dal.
还有呢，就是用红香蕉，还有豆粉所烹制的各种各样的糕点。
And all the vegetables they were served in pots. They would put them all different quantities of each vegetable. They put them in pots made from the banana leaves.
那所有的这个食物呢，全部都放在由香蕉叶所围成的这个杯子里面。
And the pots were very big and strong, and they didn't fall over.
不是杯子，对不起，是那个桶，就是所有的这些桶呢都很大，而且呢也都很结实，所以呢是不会散掉的。
So there were 3 eating places in the center, and there were hundreds of pots all around with all different kinds of vegetables and sweet meats.
那在这个吃饭的这个地方呢，一共有3个地方可以用餐，然后在这地方是摆了成百桶、上百桶的这个各种各样的食物。
There were so many different kinds of preparations, it was impossible to describe everything.
那由于呢这个准备的 餐食的种类实在是太多了，所以根本就不可能详细的去描述所有的这些餐食。
And everything, they had many tulsi leaves also on the preparations for offering to Krishna. Everything was covered with tulsi leaves.
那么所有的这些餐食上面全部都覆盖着托拉斯叶，因为是要供奉给 Krishna。
So everything was offered to the Lord Krishna, and Lord Krishna certainly was very satisfied to see the offering. So many wonderful preparations.
因为呢，这是一个非常盛大的、美妙的烹制的这些餐食，所以呢，这些都是献给 Krishna 的，供奉给 Krishna。所以 Krishna 他毫无疑问的对于这样的供奉是很心满意足的。
So after the offering, then it's the custom to do the arti. So Advaita Acharya asked Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda to come and see the arti performed.
那在供奉完之后呢，他们的习俗是应该开始进行 arti， 所以呢 Advaita Acharya 呢就邀请 Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu 和 Sri Nityananda Prabhu 呢来一起参加他们的 arti。
Then after the arti, then the deities take rest.
在 arti 之后呢，神像就休息了。
So after they put the deities to rest, then it's time to serve prasadam to all the devotees.
当神像休息之后呢，就是向所有的奉献者们派发 prasadam 的时候。
So Advaita Acharya, he asked Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda to go in a special room, go there and take prasadam.
所以呢 Advaita Acharya 呢就请 Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu 和 Nityananda Prabhu 呢去到特别的房间，到那个特别的房间里去拿 prasadam。
So Chaitanya and Nityananda, they also called Haridas and also Makunda to come with them. But both of them, both Makunda and Haridas, they didn't want to come.
那 Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu 和 Sri Nityananda Prabhu 呢，他们也都邀请了 Haridas 和 Mukunda 来和他们一起用餐，但是呢，他们俩人都不愿意来。
Yeah, they're very humble. Makunda, he made an excuse. He said, "Oh no, I have something to do. After I've done it, then I'll come and take prasadam."
因为他们俩都特别的谦卑，那姆昆特呢，他就找了一个理由，他说不行，我现在得有别的事忙，等我忙完了以后呢，我再来荣耀菩萨的。
I said, "You two go ahead. I will eat later."
那你们俩先荣耀吧，我一会儿再荣耀。
And Haridas Thakur, he said openly, "Oh, I'm too sinful. I'm very fallen. I cannot eat with you. Just give me some little rice. I will eat outside. You two go inside and eat."
Haridas Thakur 呢，他就很大大方方的说，我实在是太堕落了，我实在是太有罪了，我根本就不可能跟你们来一块儿吃饭。您只要给我一点米饭，然后我在外边找个地方吃就可以了。
Haridas Thakur, he's from a Muslim family, so he never considered himself pure to eat with all the other devotees.
Haridas Thakur 呢，他是来自于一个穆斯林的家庭，所以呢，他从来就不觉得自己够纯净的，能够和其他的奉献者们一起用餐。
So Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda went in the room, and they saw all the prasadam. Lord Chaitanya was very pleased. He thought, "Oh, very nice, so many preparations."
所以呢，Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu 和 Sri Nityananda Prabhu 呢就进入到了这个房间里面。当 Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu 看到这么多的 prasadam 的时候呢，他很开心。他说：“哦，这些都是烹制的如此的精妙的 prasadam。”
So the food is prepared not for the people, not for the devotees. The food is prepared for Krishna. It's to give pleasure to Krishna.
因为这个食物烹制的这个食物呢，并不是说是给人准备的，而是为了要让 Krishna 开心才准备的这些食物。
So Lord Chaitanya congratulated the devotees and he said, "I will take the dust from their feet for making such a nice offering to Krishna."
所以呢，Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu 呢，他就恭喜了这些奉献者，他就说呢，我要接受这些奉献者足上的尘土，因为他们为主准备了如此精美的餐食。
So when Lord Chaitanya entered the room, he saw there were 3 sections of food. So he thought they were all for Krishna. He didn't understand what Advaita Acharya wanted to do.
那么当他进入到房间里面以后呢，他就看到了放在3个不同地方的这食物。那么他当时就觉得所有这些食物都是供给 Krishna 的，所以他其实并不明白对Acharya 的这个内心到底是怎么想的。
Actually, Advaita Acharya wanted Lord Caitanya to take one of the plates. But Lord Caitanya thought, this is Krishna, this is all for Krishna.
事实上Advaita Acharya 呢，他是希望Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu 呢能够吃下其中的一盘子的食物，但是 Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu 觉得呢，这是给 Krishna 的供奉。
Yeah. So Lord Caitanya said, yes, just give me a little vegetable and a little rice. I don't need much. Just give me a banana leaf and a little vegetable and rice. I'll be happy.
那Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu 说呢，你只要给我一个香蕉叶，然后上面放一点蔬菜，然后放一点米饭就行了，我不用吃太多。
But Advaita Acharya said, no, you sit down here. This plate, this is for you. With all these preparations, hundreds of preparations, this is for you.
那么然后Sri Chaitanya 这个Advaita Acharya 就指着这个盘子说，不，您得坐在这儿。那么这有100多种不同的佳肴，全部都是为您准备的。
Lord Caitanya said, look, no, come on, I'm a sannyasi, I cannot eat so many foods.
然后Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu就说，哎呀，我是一个sannyasi，我怎么可能吃这么多东西呢？
If I eat so much, how can I ever control my senses?
如果要吃这么多的话，我怎么能够控制得了我的感官呢？
So Lord Caitanya was a little worried. He did not like to accept all the food that Advaita Acharya is offering.
所以Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu这会儿就有点担忧起来，因为他不想接受Advaita Acharya所给他供上的所有的这些食物。
But Advaita Acharya tells him, come on, look, I know who you are. I know what you're doing. I know that I know your identity. I know why you've taken sannyas. You cannot fool me. You cannot hide yourself from me.
然后Advaita Acharya说：“得了吧，我知道您是谁，我知道您到底是为什么要这么做，您为什么要这个成为sannyasi，而且我也知道您的真实身份是什么，您不可能在我面前还躲躲藏藏的。”
Lord Caitanya is saying, no, I cannot eat so much. But Advaita Acharya is saying, you just eat what you can, it's okay, just leave whatever you cannot eat.
然后Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu就说呢，我吃不了这么多。Advaita Acharya说，没事儿，您能吃多少您就吃多少，然后呢，您吃不下就剩在那盘子里就行。
Lord Caitanya said, it's not my duty as a sannyasi, I'm not supposed to leave remnants.
然后Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu说呢，但这不是我的职责，我是一个sannyasi，我不能够把鲫鱼留在我的盘子里。
I won't be able to eat so much food. I don't want to leave remnants.
我呢又吃不了这么多的食物，可是呢我又不想剩饭。
But Advaita Acharya said, look, I know that at Jagannath Puri you eat 54 offerings a day.
但是Advaita Acharya说，我知道在加那普瑞你一天可是要吃54道菜。
And each offering you have many hundreds of pots of food.
而且呢，每一次就是你要吃54次供奉，而且每一次供奉呢都有好几百盆的食物。
So what I'm offering you today is just only a small portion of what you usually eat every day.
所以我今天所向您献上的这个食物，只不过是您每天吃的量的非常小的一部分而已。
I know you can eat much, much more if you want.
我知道，如果您要是想的话，您可以吃的比这多多了。
This is nothing for you. You've come to my home. You should eat.
所以这对您来说根本就不是什么了不起的大事儿。您来了我家了，您就得吃。
You don't have to talk so much. Just eat. You've come here to eat.
您不用说太多话了，您来这儿就是吃吧。
So, Lord Caitanya and Lord Nityananda washed their hands, and then they sat down and they had to eat, began to eat the prasadam.
所以呢，主尼提亚南的主Caitanya Mahaprabhu呢，他们在洗过手之后呢，他们就坐了下来，然后就开始荣耀菩萨的。
Lord Nityananda begins to joke. He likes to joke, and he had some joking words with Advaita Acharya. He says, "I've been fasting for 3 days."
然后主尼提亚南的呢，他就开始开玩笑了，因为他特别喜欢开玩笑。所以呢，他就开始逗弄Advaita Acharya。他说呢，我都已经戒了3天食了。
I thought I was going to break my fast today, but I see you have so little food.
我以为我今天要打破戒食呢，可是我看见你这怎么就这么一点吃的呢？
He said that you're giving me such a small quantity of food. It won't even fill my belly, even half.
你就给我这么一点吃的，连我的胃的一半都盛不满。
So this is Lord Nityananda. He was joking. There was so much food, but Lord Nityananda said, "Oh, this is nothing. This is not going to satisfy my hunger."
对呢，这就是主尼提亚南达的戏言，因为当时的食物非常多，但是他却说这食物太少，这根本就连我的这个饿都没有办法让我果腹。
So Advaita Acharya tells Lord Nityananda, "You're just a mendicant, you're just a beggar on pilgrimage. Sometimes you eat fruits and sometimes you eat roots. Sometimes you have to fast."
然后Advaita Acharya对主尼提亚南达说：“你不过就是一个苦行者，你不过是一个乞丐而已。有的时候呢，你得吃草根儿；有的时候呢，你就吃一些果子。可是有的时候呢，你就得戒食。”
I'm just a poor brahmana. I don't have much money. You've come to my home. Be satisfied with whatever I give you. Don't be greedy.
我呢，只不过是一个穷婆罗门，我根本就没有那么多钱。那我现在在我们家里请你吃饭，那我给你吃什么你就吃什么，你不要太贪婪了。
Lord Nityananda said, "Well, you invited me to your home. You should give me as much as I want to eat."
但是主尼提亚南达说：“可是你把我请到你们家来的呀，所以呢，你得给我吃我想吃的那么多的量。”
So then Advaita Acharya he says to Lord Nityananda, he said, "You are a reject Paramahamsa."
然后呢，Advaita Acharya 就对这个主尼提亚南达说：“你是一个被摒弃了的 Paramahamsa。”
You have become a renounced person. You're in that renounced dress just so you can fill your belly. I know you. I know what you're like. You're only a renounced person so you can get free meals.
我知道你是怎么回事，你就穿着这一身气绝的衣服，就是为了要满足你的肚腹啊，就是因为你要穿，就是你穿上了这么一身气绝的衣服，这样你就能够得到免费的食物了。我可知道你是怎么回事。
You just give trouble to brahmanas like me. That's your business, just to give brahmanas like me trouble.
你的营生就是要给我，就是要给像我这样的婆罗门麻烦。
I'm a poor brahmana, and you eat so much. How can I get so much rice to fill your belly?
我就是一个穷婆罗门，可是你吃这么多，我怎么可能给你那么多的米饭来满足你的肚腹呢？
Whatever you have, just please eat it. Don't make a big disturbance.
那你现在眼前有什么食物，就把它吃了吧，不要再捣乱了。
And don't be a mad person. Just calm down.
不要成为一个疯疯癫癫的人，赶紧安静下来吧。
So in this way they were joking with each other, and Lord Caitanya, he's trying to eat, and after he would eat something, Advaita Acharya would come and he'd fill up the vessel again, because Lord Caitanya would eat a little bit, then Advaita Acharya would put more. Whatever Lord Caitanya ate, Advaita Acharya would put more.
所以呢，他们就这样的方式相互逗弄、戏弄着。然后呢，Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu呢就试着吃一些食物，然后他每当吃完一些食物之后呢，Advaita Acharya又会把他的这个盘子给盛满。所以呢，只要他吃什么，Advaita Acharya他们就会去做的更多，然后给端过来。
And Lord Chaitanya would complain, he said, how much more can I eat? You keep putting more on my plate, how much can I eat?
然后Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu就抱怨说，你不断的在我的盘子里边加这个食物，但是我能吃多少呢？
So Advaita Acharya said, you just eat half and leave half.
然后Advaita Acharya 说，那你就吃一半，然后留一半。
So this way Lord Chaitanya would get, this way Advaita Acharya would get Chaitanya and Nityananda to take more prasadam.
所以呢，就以这样的方式Advaita Acharya 呢就促使Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu 和 Nityananda Prabhu 呢吃更多的 prasadam。
But Nityananda is still joking. He says to Advaita, no, I'm not satisfied. My belly is not full yet. Take away your food. I don't have interest. I don't like any of your food.
但是呢，朱Nityananda还在开玩笑，他说呢，哎，你这个吃的东西我一点都吃不饱，我到现在为止还没觉得满足，我一点都不喜欢你做的这些食物，赶紧把这些食物拿开。
Then Lord Nityananda took some rice and he threw it on the floor as if he was angry.
然后Sri Nityananda Prabhu 呢就拿起了一些米饭，然后把这个米饭给甩在了地板上，好像他生气了。
And some of the pieces of rice, they touched the body of Advaita Acharya.
而有一些这个米饭的这个米粒儿呢，就碰到了Advaita Acharya的身体。
And it stuck to his body. And then when this happened, then Advaita Acharya began to dance.
然后呢，他就这样触碰了他的这个躯体之后，当这事儿发生之后呢，Advaita Acharya 就开始跳起舞来。
Because Advaita Acharya was showing that the remnants of Lord Nityananda are very powerful.
那么Advaita Acharya 他通过这个展示呢，Sri Nityananda Prabhu 所吃的这个食物的鲫鱼是非常的有力量的。
Prasadam is very powerful. It's a spiritual substance. It's not material.
Prasadam 是非常的有力量的，因为它是灵性的物质，它并不是物质的。
But what Lord Nityananda threw onto Advaita Acharya, that was Mahaprasadam. That was the remnants of a great devotee. So it's very, very powerful prasadam.
但是Sri Nityananda Prabhu 他甩在Advaita Acharya 身上的这个米粒儿，这已经是 Mahaprasadam 了。那也就是说呢，这是一位伟大的奉献者食物的鲫鱼，所以呢，它是非常的有力量的。
Anyway, Advaita Acharya gets a little bit upset with Lord Nityananda and says, see, you've come to my home and you're just a mad person. You're not a sane person. You're crazy.
但是呢，Advaita Acharya 呢，他就觉得有点生朱Nityananda的气了，然后他就说：“你看，你来我们家荣耀，可是呢，你怎么就弄得疯疯癫癫的呢？你好像是个疯子一样。”
We don't know what kind of caste you are. We don't know where you come from. We don't know who you are.
我们根本就不知道你是属于哪个阶层的，你是从哪儿来的，你到底是谁呀？
We think you must be some kind of madman, and now you're trying to make us also mad.
你呢，肯定是个疯子，而且现在呢，你把我们大家都给整疯了。
You take the remnants of your food and you throw it at me. You don't even care. I'm a Brahmin.
而且呢，你把这吃剩的这个饭，然后现在还甩在了我的身上，你一点都不关心，难道不知道我是一婆罗门吗？
So, of course, Lord Chaitanya, Lord Nityananda, they're the supreme lords. So their remnants are very powerful.
当然，Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu 还有Sri Nityananda Prabhu，他们都是至尊主，所以呢，他们食物的鲫鱼是非常的有力量的。
Lord Nityananda says to Advaita, this was the remnants of food of Lord Krishna. It's not ordinary.
然后Sri Nityananda Prabhu 对 Advaita Acharya 说，这个食物是 Sri Krishna 的鲫鱼，它可不是一个普通的食物。
You're committing an offense against it by describing it to be ordinary food.
所以呢，你称呼它为普通的食物，所以呢，你就做出了冒犯。
So to make up for your offense, Now you will have to invite 100 sannyasis to your home and feed them.
那为了补偿你所做出的这个冒犯呢，现在你必须要邀请100位散亚西来到你们家里面，请他们吃饭。
But Advaita Acharya said, "No way, I'm never inviting another sannyasi into my house. After you, I don't want another sannyasi to come near us."
然后Advaita Acharya 说，没门儿了，在我请了你们吃饭之后，我不可能再请其他的散亚西来我们家吃饭了。
Because it's because of you, you've ruined all my Brahminical qualities by your mad behavior.
就是因为你这疯疯癫癫的举动，你毁了我所有的婆罗门的品质。
So people, ordinary people, they cannot understand these joking words which took place between Lord Nityananda and Advaita Acharya.
但是普通的人呢，他是没有办法去理解在 Advaita Acharya 和 Nityananda 他们之间的这种戏言的。
Their words and their meanings are very deep.
事实上，他们所说的话以及这个话中所要展现的意义是非常的深邃的。
It appears like they're joking with each other.
起来好像他们在彼此之间相互开玩笑。
But their words have very special meaning to all the devotees.
但是对于所有的奉献者来说，他们所说的话是有非常的特别的意义的。
So after they took prasadam, then they washed their hands and then they went to take rest.
然后呢，在荣耀完普山了之后呢，他们洗了手之后就休息。
And Lord Advaita Acharya arranges for them to get nice spices to put in their mouth to give a good taste after the food.
然后 Advaita Acharya 呢安排他们在嘴里面，在吃完饭以后呢，含上味道很好的香料，然后呢让他们的口气呢这里就。
Advaita Acharya prepared a special thing with cloves and cardamom.
Flows? Sorry, what is flows?
Cloves? Oh, it's a spice. You don't know it? It's like, what's it called? It's like a nail, you know, and it has a round head, a brown color, and it's like a nail. What's it called?
How to spell it?
C-L-O-V-E.
C-L-O-V-E. Oh, okay, got it.
丁香
clove and丁香。
丁香 yeah.
然后 Advaita Acharya 呢，就专门用丁香和卡达门把它给这个就是组成这种清口的香料先给煮。
And he mixed also tulsi flowers. Tulsi flowers, you know the flower on the tulsi plant where they have the seeds and a couple that's the flower. So he mixed that with the spices, with the clove and cardamom.
还有呢，就是把这个布拉西的这个花儿，就是种子上面结的那个花儿，给和丁香和卡达门给煮在一起。
So this will give a very nice taste in the mouth after the meal.
这样呢，在吃完饭之后，如果要是咀嚼这样的香料呢，就能让空气很清新。
And then Advaita Acharya had sandalwood pulp. He had ground some sandalwood and he was smearing it on the body of the two lords, and he brought nice flower garlands to put on their chest.
然后呢 Advaita Acharya 呢又磨了一些檀香浆，然后把檀香浆呢抹在了两位主的身上，然后呢又把鲜花戴在他们的胸前，花环戴在他们的胸前。
So Advaita Acharya, he wanted to give Lord Caitanya massage, but Lord Caitanya said, no, just a minute, you can't do that.
然后 Advaita Acharya 呢，他又希望能够为主 Caitanya Mahaprabhu 按摩，但是呢，主 Caitanya Mahaprabhu 说不行，你不能这么做。
He said, I've already done so many things, I've broken so many of my practices of the sannyasi for you today. I'm not going to give you any more, I'm not going to break any more.
他说呢，今天为了你，我已经打破了我很多的sannyasi应该遵守的规矩，所以我今天呢不能够再为你再打破另外其他的规矩了。
So he told Advaita, he said, you go and eat now.
然后就对 Advaitacharya 说呢，你现在最好还是赶紧去吃饭吧。
You can go and take with Mukunda and Haridas, you can eat with them.
那你可以和 Mukunda 和 Haridas Thakur 一起吃饭。
So they all, Advaita and Mukunda and Haridas, they could take all the food left over, they could enjoy all the food, and they distributed also to the other devotees.
然后呢，您呢，还有 Mukunda 呀，还有 Advaitacharya， 还有Advaitacharya、Mukunda 还有 Haridas 啊，你们可以一块儿去享受现在剩下的那些食物，然后把吃不完的食物呢，还要去派发给其他那些奉献者们。
So Lord Caitanya had come to Shantipur, so the news traveled, everybody heard there's a sannyasi come. So many people came, they all wanted to see Lord Caitanya, they wanted to get his darshan.
那Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu 他来到山地波的这个消息呢，就大肆的就传开了，所有的人全部都来到山地波，想来见一下 Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu，希望能够 darshan 到这位 sannyasi。
And it was very wonderful when they saw Lord Chaitanya, so tall and so handsome, so powerful, and he's renounced the world, and he got them all to chant the holy name.
所以当他们来见到 Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu 的时候呢，发现 Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu 是如此的高大、英俊，而且呢年轻，而且还气绝，那就很开心。然后 Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu 呢，就让所有的这些人都开始唱诵 Hare Krishna 的圣名。
So many people all came, and they would come and have darshan of Lord Chaitanya, and they'd be very happy. Nobody knew who were all these people, where were they coming from.
那很多很多的人全部都来到这里 darshan Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu， 而且所有人都特别的开心。那么大家并不知道这些人都是从哪儿冒出来的。
So when it was evening, then it's time to have some chanting, kirtan, and Lord Chaitanya came. He was the dancer.
然后到了晚上的时候呢，就到了一个要进行唱诵 kirtan 的时候了。然后是 Chaitanya Mahaprabhu 呢来唱诵，而且呢他也是一边唱一边跳舞的那位舞者。
Advaita Acharya, he's elderly man, old man. He's like grandfather almost of Lord Chaitanya, but he also dances.
Advaitacharya 他已经是一位年事已高的老者，他像是Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu 的祖父那样的年纪，但是呢，他也跟着一块儿跳起舞来。
Lord Nityananda began dancing. Haridas also is dancing. They're all dancing.
Sri Nityananda Prabhu 开始跳起舞来 ，Haridas Thakur 也开始跳起舞来，所有的人都跳了起来。
So Advaita Acharya became very happy. He said, so lucky, after many days, Krishna has come to my house. I'm so fortunate.
对Advaitacharya 呢就特别开心，他说这么多天之后 ，Sri Krishna 终于来到了我的家里，实在太仁慈了。
So Advaita Acharya was leading the Sankirtan and he was chanting. He was showing symptoms of ecstasy. Body was trembling and shivering.
那Advaitacharya呢，他在领唱着 Kirtan， 展现了，就他非常开心，然后展现了这个极乐的征兆，他的身体在颤抖着。
And sometimes he would come and he tried to grab the feet of Lord Caitanya Mahaprabhu.
而且有的时候呢，他也试着要去抓住 Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu 的莲花足。
But Advaita Acharya says, he said, now I've got you in my home. I'm going to keep you here with me. I'm not going to let you go.
然后Advaitacharya 说呢，现在你终于来我们家了，我可得把你给留在我们家里边，我可再也不让你走了。
So this is my greatest happiness. So for 3 days, 3 hours that night, that night they chanted for 3 hours and danced all the time.
所以说呢，他就特别的开心。然后在那天晚上呢，就是他们连着3天，然后每天晚上他都会又唱又跳到3个小时的时间。
Feeling the ecstasy, Lord Chaitanya would fall to the ground And then when Lord Chaitanya fell on the ground, Advaita Acharya would come and rush, be very worried, pick up the Lord.
然后Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu因为在这种极乐之中呢，太开心了，所以他就倒在了地上。当他倒在地上之后呢，Advaita Acharya 就会变得平静下来，然后呢，他就会很为主的这种状态而担心。
Advaita Acharya would pick up Lord Chaitanya and encourage him to keep singing and dancing.
然后Advaita Acharya 呢，他就会扶起主，并且鼓励他继续的高唱和继续的跳舞。
But Mukunda is there, and Mukunda is also singing beautiful songs and special songs about Krishna and the pastimes of Radha and Krishna, and this would affect Lord Chaitanya.
那么姆昆德也在那儿，因为姆昆德呢，他在不断的在歌唱，而且他唱一些很特别的荣耀 Radha 和 Krishna 的歌，而这个呢就会影响Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu。
When Lord Chaitanya would hear Mukunda, remember Mukunda has the most beautiful voice, he would sing so wonderfully, and he would sing these very special songs and special verses to influence the mind of Lord Chaitanya.
大家要知道，姆昆德他是一位非常的就他有这个最动听的歌喉，而且呢他会唱诵很特别的荣耀 Radha 和 Krishna 的诗节，所以呢当他这么一唱的时候呢，就会影响Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu 的内心。
So Lord Chaitanya, when he would hear the songs, his eyes would be full of tears and his body would tremble.
所以当Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu 听到这些歌声唱出来的时候呢，他的眼里面就会流淌着泪水，并且他的这个身体呢也开始颤抖。
Sometimes he would stand, but sometimes he would fall. Sometimes he couldn't stand, and sometimes he would just cry.
那有的时候呢，他是站着；有的时候呢，他会摔倒；有的时候他都站不住了；有的时候呢，他就只是在哭着。
Sometimes he was sweating so much sweat coming from his body.
而且有的时候呢，他会大汗淋漓，有那么多的汗从他的身体中流淌而出。
So Mukunda would sing songs to Krishna that, what has happened to me? What is it? What is this effect of love of Krishna?
那姆昆达他会唱对主 Krishna 的歌，就是到底会在我身上发生什么呢？那么这样怎样能影响到我对 Krishna 的爱呢？
This love of Krishna is like a poison. My body has become so much disturbed. My body and mind have become so much disturbed by this love of Krishna.
对 Krishna 的爱就好像是毒药一样，使我的内心以及我的躯体都被如此的被搅扰着。
So just seeing the ecstasy, this is... Mukunda would sing songs about Radharani meeting with Krishna, and this would give so much ecstasy to Lord Chaitanya.
然后姆昆达呢还会唱一些 Srimati Radharani 与 Krishna 相见的歌曲，而这样的歌曲呢，就使 Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu 呢得到很多的极乐的感受。
Lord Chaitanya would say, or in the mood of Radharani, he would say, my mind is always disturbed. I cannot get any rest. If I could go to meet Krishna, then I could be happy.
然后Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu 说呢，这个 Radharani 的这种心态，让我感到非常的搅扰，而且呢，我根本就没有办法休息。那我觉得我最好还是应该去见到 Krishna。
Even if I could fly there, that would be the best. Let me go to meet Krishna, and I fly there, then I can meet Krishna immediately.
如果我要是能够飞到那儿的话，那是最好的。让我现在赶紧立刻就去见 Krishna 吧。
So Mukunda would sing songs like this, and when Lord Chaitanya would hear it, then Lord Chaitanya would break down and he would become uncontrollable.
所以说呢，姆昆达他就会唱这样的歌， 可是当Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu他听到了这样的歌的时候呢，就会大受其影响，他就让自己完全变成了一种没有办法控制的状态。
Because one who's in ecstasy for love of Krishna, they cannot control their bodily motions, and they cannot control their thinking.
那么，所以就是因为当一个人处在对 Krishna 的爱的极乐之情的时候，他是没有办法去控制他的躯体上的状态的。
So the entire body of Lord Chaitanya became covered with this kind of ecstasy.
所以说呢，这个主他的整个的这个身体全部都沉浸在这样的极乐之情的征兆之中。
He would fall on the ground and almost like his breathing was stopped.
所以呢，他就会倒在地上，看起来好像都呼吸都停止了。
So when the devotees saw Lord Chaitanya in this condition, they were very worried.
所以呢，当奉献者看到主 Chaitanya Mahaprabhu处在这样的状态的时候呢，他们非常的担心。
Then Lord Chaitanya would suddenly get up and he would make some loud sounds.
但是呢，主 Chaitanya Mahaprabhu呢又会突然的站起来，然后呢发出一些非常洪亮的声音。
And he would encourage Mukunda, go on speaking. And Lord Chaitanya would dance.
然后呢，他会鼓励姆昆特接着唱，然后呢，他会跟着这个唱一起来跳舞。
So nobody knew what was actually happening. What was all this ecstasy? It was no ordinary people could understand.
所以当时大家呢全都感到困惑了，因为他们不知道就是怎么就会产生这样的极乐的状态，那么任何一个普通的人是没有办法理解的。
Lord Nityananda would have to walk everywhere with Lord Chaitanya because he knew that any time Lord Chaitanya may fall down and he may hurt himself.
如Nityananda呢，他就只能寸步不离地跟着 Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu 到任何他所去的地方，因为他知道 Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu 可能在任何一个时刻都可能倒下去，然后把自己给伤着。
And Advaita Acharya and Haridas, they were following them, they were dancing.
Haridas Thakur 和 Advaita Acharya 呢，他们也跟着他们俩，然后一边跳着舞一边跟着。
So Lord Chaitanya would dance for 3 hours at a time. This was quite normal for him.
每次呢，Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu 一跳舞就是3个小时，这对于他来讲也是常态。
And sometimes you could see all the ecstasy. Sometimes it was clear to see how Lord Chaitanya was experiencing so much ecstasy.
而且呢，有的时候呢，就非常的清晰的能够看到Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu他在经历着多么多的极乐之情。
The Lord Chaitanya had been fasting for 3 days, but then he came to Advaita's house and they had a big feast.
所以 Chaitanya Mahaprabhu 呢，他戒食了3天，然后呢，他来到了 Advaita Acharya 的家里面，然后他们有了这样一场大餐。
So it's like if you've been fasting and then you have a big feast, then you don't have a lot of energy.
大家都知道，当我们戒食之后，然后荣耀了一场大餐之后呢，其实我们不会有太多的能量的。
So anyway, Lord Chaitanya was dancing and he began jumping, but he couldn't jump very high, he became tired.
所以呢，当 Advaita Acharya 他在跳舞的时候呢，他开始跳，但是呢，他不能跳太高，因为他开始变得有点累了。
So,
Maharaj Janaka Prabhu asked if it's okay for you to lower down your camera a little bit because sometimes we only see half of your face.
oh really?
Yeah.
Is that,
Yeah. Now it's good. Now it's good.
No, it's okay?
Yeah. Now it's perfect.
Okay. So, Nityananda was always catching Lord Chaitanya when he's dancing, tried to save him from getting any injury.
所以说呢，当Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu 在跳舞的时候呢，主Nityananda Prabhu 总是在后面保护着他，接着他，这样呢就避免他会摔倒，然后把自己伤着。
And so then finally Advaita Acharya, he stopped everything, he got everybody stop, take rest and stop all the, have other things to do. Can't just keep doing kirtan.
然后最后呢，这个 Advaita 终于让大家把这个 kirtan 给停了下来，然后让大家去做一些其他的事情，开始休息，做一些其他的事情去了。
But Lord Chaitanya stayed there for 10 days at Advaita Acharya's house, and every day there was a feast, and every evening a big kirtan.
但是呢，Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu 呢，在 Advaita 的家里面一住就是10天，然后每天呢都是大餐，每天晚上都有很盛大的 kirtan。
And while Lord Chaitanya was there, it was at that time his mother, Sachimata, came from Mayapur. They brought her, the devotees arranged to bring her in a palanquin, and she came from her house with many other devotees.
那当Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu 待在 Advaita 的家里的时候呢，奉献者也把 Sachi 妈妈从 Navadvip 用轿子给接到了 Advaita 的家里。
Yeah, different. Mother Sachi came, there were many women came with her, and the women brought the young boys with them, and the old men also came because they're not very busy, they didn't have much to do, so they had time to come also. So this way there were more and more people coming to Shantipur.
然后和萨琪妈妈一起来的呢，还有其他的那些妇女，然后还有就是这些女子们所带的这些孩子们，然后家里面的一些上了岁数的这些老年人，就是这些爬布们呢，也都来了，因为他们在家里面其实也不是特别的忙，所以呢也可以来。就这样的方式呢，就使得越来越多的人都来到了山体布尔。
So when Mother Sachi came there, then she saw her son. She saw Lord Chaitanya as a sannyasi. And Lord Chaitanya, when he saw his mother, then Lord Chaitanya offered obeisances. He fell down like a stake in front of her.
所以呢，当萨琪妈妈见到Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu的时候呢，见到了他已经变成了sannyasi的儿子。那么当Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu见到萨琪妈妈的时候呢，他向他的母亲致以五体投地的顶拜。
So when Mother Sachi saw her son with the shaved head and the saffron cloth, she began to cry, and she put Lord Chaitanya on her lap like a little boy.
当萨琪妈妈看到她的儿子把头发剃得光光的，还穿着sannyasi的衣服的时候，她就开始哭了起来。她就像抱一个小孩子一样，把 Chaitanya Mahaprabhu 抱到了自己的怀里。
I remember one time in England, the television people came to the temple in England, and they were filming about devotees, and then they were interviewing the mother of one of the devotees.
那我还记得有一次在英国，然后呢，这个电视台的记者来到庙里面，然后呢要做一期采访奉献者的一个节目。那当时呢，他们在采访一位奉献者的妈妈。
So they asked the lady, about her son becoming a devotee, and she said, well, he had such a lovely head of hair.
然后呢，这个记者就问他的母亲：“你觉得你的儿子成为了奉献者怎么样？”然后呢，他的母亲就说：“他曾经有那么美的一头头发。”
So some ladies like this, they're very attached to their hair. Means a lot to them.
所以大家都知道，有些女士对于头发是非常的依附的，因为这头发对她的意义非常的重大。
So Mother Sachi, of course, she's the divine mother. She's not an ordinary woman, and she was attached to seeing her son, who's Lord Krishna, not different from Lord Krishna, and to see him in the dress of a sannyasi, it was painful for her.
那么萨蒂妈妈呢？她是一位神性的母亲，她并不是一位普通的母亲，但是呢，她非常依恋于她的儿子像是 Krishna 的那个样子。所以呢，当看见她的儿子是sannyasi的这副打扮的时候呢，对于她来说是非常的心痛的。
Sometimes people don't, sometimes the mother doesn't like to see the son renounced. They think, oh, this is not good. This is very hard, very painful.
那所以有的时候呢，母亲是不希望看见自己的孩子变得很气绝的，因为她觉得这个实在是太痛苦了，让自己的心很痛。
So Lord Chaitanya is Krishna, and certainly devotees, we don't like to see Lord Chaitanya renounced.
当然了，Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu 呢是主 Krishna， 所以呢，奉献者是不希望看到 Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu 的弃绝的这个形象的。
Just like when we worship the deities, we don't worship Lord Chaitanya as a sannyasi. We worship him with his hair and dressed properly in beautiful clothes. We don't worship him as a renounced sannyasi.
比如说，当我们在崇拜 Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu 的时候呢，我们并不是崇拜他作为 sannyasi 的这个形象的神像来崇拜的，我们是把他作为这个有头发，并且呢还给他穿戴着很漂亮的衣服的这样的形象来崇拜的。
Yeah, we don't like to think of Lord Chaitanya having to renounce everything.
所以呢，我们不想，就是总是想着 Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu 的这种弃绝的形象。
But Lord Chaitanya does it because he wants to show the example for people in the Kali Yuga.
但是 Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu 他之所以这么做的原因呢，他是为了要给在卡利年代的人们做出一个表率。
So Mother Sachi, this is her first time seeing him as a sannyasi, and it's painful for her.
所以呢，当萨奇妈妈第一次见到她的儿子一副像亚西的打扮的时候呢，对她来讲是非常的痛苦的。
Anyway, she embraces Lord Chaitanya, and sometimes she would kiss his face.
无论如何呢，她拥抱着 Sri Chaitanya， 有的时候呢，她还会亲吻他的脸。
But her eyes were always filled with tears. She couldn't actually see.
但是呢，她的眼睛里面总是充满着泪水，她没有办法抑制她的悲伤。
So she says to Lord Chaitanya, you know, she's crying, Mother said she's crying, but she has some request to Lord Chaitanya. She says, please don't be cruel to me like your big brother, like Vishwarup, your older brother.
萨奇妈妈她在哭泣着，但是呢，她对 Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu 提出了请求。她说呢，求你了，不要像你的大哥 Vishwarup 那样残忍地对待我。
After Vishwarup took sannyas, I never saw him again.
当 Vishwarup 成为 sannyasi 之后，我就再也没有见过他。
So Mother Sachi asked Lord Chaitanya, please don't you do like that to me.
所以呢，萨奇妈妈就请求 Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu 说呢，请你不要像他那样对我。
She said, if I cannot see you, then I will die.
如果我要是见不到你的话，我会死的。
So Lord Chaitanya tells Mother Sachi that he says, my body belongs to you. I do not possess anything.
然后 Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu 就对萨奇妈妈说，我的身体是属于您的，我自己没有任何的财产。
My body came from you, and you raised my body, so I have a debt to you.
我的躯体是来自于您，您把我养大，所以呢，我是亏欠于您的。
And I cannot repay that debt, even for many, many lifetimes.
即便是用很多的生世，我也没有办法真正的偿还我所欠下您的债。
But Lord Chaitanya said, somehow I have taken the sannyas order. So
但是Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu 说呢，但是无论如何呢，我是接受了sannyasi的这个阶层。
But I know you're my mother, and I will not give you up.
但是我知道您是我的母亲，所以我是不会放弃您的。
So wherever you want me to stay, I shall stay, and whatever you order, I shall do.
所以呢，您要让我住在哪儿，我就会住在那个地方。无论您让我做什么，我都会去做的。
So then Lord Chaitanya offered his obeisances to his mother.
然后Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu呢，就向他的母亲顶拜。
So Mother Sachi is pacified hearing Lord Chaitanya speak like this.
当Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu 这样对萨奇母亲讲话的时候呢，萨奇妈妈觉得很是安慰。
Then Advaita Acharya brings Mother Sachi in the house, and
然后呢，Advaita Acharya 就把萨奇妈妈就请进了房间。
And Lord Chaitanya is going to meet all the devotees who've come with her.
然后呢，Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu 呢就要接见和萨奇妈妈一起同来的所有的这些奉献者们。
He met them and he embraced them and was very happy to see them.
接见了他们，然后呢拥抱着他们，他非常的开心能够见到他们。
But the devotees there all feeling unhappiness because they see the Lord with no hair, has shaved his head, so they're not
但是所有的这些奉献者，因为看见主没有头发，头被剃得光光的这个样子，他们并不开心。
But still they see the Lord is very attractive, very beautiful.
但是呢，他们依然觉得主是非常的具有吸引力的，是很帅、很英俊的。
So many of the great devotees, they had all come from Mayapur to Shantipur to meet Lord Chaitanya. Everyone was chanting the holy name and everyone was dancing.
Sorry, Marjo said that so many great devotees not come.
They came from Mayapur to see Lord Chaitanya, and they were all chanting the holy name and dancing. And in this way, Advaita Acharya's home became like Vaikuntha.
那么就是在玛雅普的很多的这些伟大的奉献者们，全部都来到了山提普尔来接见主，然后呢，大家都在极乐中 kirtan， 在极乐中跳舞。那以这样的方式呢，使得Advaita Acharya的家就变成了Vaikuntha。
And people came from the different villages, not only from Navadvip, from so many different villages around the area.
那这些人们呢，他们并不仅仅是来自于 Navadvip， 他们是来自于整个这个区域的不同的村子里面。
And Advaita Acharya took care of everyone. Many people came to stay there in Shantipur, and they stayed many days. And Advaita Acharya, he gave everyone some accommodation, arranged everyone's food.
那 Advaita Acharya 呢，他是很好的照顾了所有的人。那么这么多人呢，他们都从Navadvip来到这儿，在山地部一住就是好多天。所以呢，Advaita Acharya为所有的这些人安排了衣食住行。
So Advaita Acharya, somehow he was able to provide for everyone. He needs so many things to take care of everyone, but Advaita Acharya, somehow he's able to arrange everything.
Advaita Acharya 他其实是需要很多的这些物资设施来为所有的这些人提供他们的生活所需的。但是无论如何呢，Advaita Acharya 他就设法搞到了所有的这些东西，能够把大家都给安排下来。
And with Mother Sachi coming, from the very day she came there, she went right in the kitchen and took charge of the kitchen and organized all the cooking and everything.
然后萨奇妈妈一到的那一天呢，就立刻冲进了厨房，然后把厨房里面的所有这些事情的职责都给接管了下来。
So everybody who came there, they could see Lord Chaitanya chanting and dancing, and Advaita Acharya is very friendly, he welcomes everyone.
所以呢，来到这儿的所有的人呢，都可以看到如Caitanya Mahaprabhu的跳舞，以及听到他的 kirtan。然后呢，Advaita Acharya呢也非常的这个宾至如归的招待着所有的这些奉献者们。
And every night have nice kirtan, and the Lord would show also his ecstatic symptoms, body trembling, hair standing on end, and the tears.
然后每天晚上呢，他们都有非常极乐的 kirtan。然后在 kirtan 的时候呢，主也会展现出他极乐的征兆。比如说呢，他会泪如雨下，然后呢，他会身体颤抖，他也会毛发直竖。
Only problem is sometimes Mother Sachi would get worried when she would see Lord Chaitanya fall on the ground, because Lord Chaitanya would jump up high in the air and then fall on the ground, and Mother Sachi would be worried that maybe he's going to break his bones.
但是有的时候呢，萨奇妈妈就有点担心， 因为Caitanya Mahaprabhu呢，他会一下子跳到特别高，然后呢从高处呢再摔下来，所以亚说达妈妈就害怕他把他骨头给摔断了。
So she prayed to, Mother said, she prayed to Lord Vishnu that please do not let Nimai get any injury or feel any pain from his falling on the ground.
所以说呢，萨奇妈妈就向主 Vishnu 祈祷着，求你了，让我的尼麦可千万别摔伤了，他摔到地上的时候可千万别觉得疼。
So Mother said she can only think of Lord Chaitanya as her son, as her child.
所以萨奇妈妈呢，她只能够把Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu想成是她自己的孩子，她的儿子。
And she has so much ecstasy also in seeing Lord Chaitanya in this mood of sannyasi. It creates more attachment for her son.
而且呢，当他看到Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu的这个散压器的这个形象的时候呢，他对于Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu 也产生了非常极乐的这种心情，而且呢，他对他的儿子呢就更加的依附了。
So Advaita Acharya had Lord Chaitanya at his home there, and he was taking, the charity from Advaita Acharya because Advaita Acharya is providing everything. But other devotees, they wanted to have Lord Chaitanya come to their home and take food there at their home.
那然后呢 ，Advaita Acharya 呢，因为他在这个地方为所有的人提供所有这些餐食，然后呢，他也得到一些这个布施，但是呢，其他的人呢也希望是Chaitanya Mahaprabhu能够到他们家里面去。
So Prabhupada said this. Actually, he said this is the duty of the grihastas. They should invite sannyasis to their home.
释迦爸说呢，其实这是鬼哈斯的居士的职责，他们应该邀请散亚西到他们家中去做客。
When the sannyasi comes to the village, then the people in the village they should be happy to invite the sannyasi to their home to feed him.
当散亚西来到村里的时候呢，村里面的居民们应该非常开心的邀请这位散亚西到他们家里面去。
So usually sannyasi comes, cannot stay. He can just come and at the most he can stay in anyone's home 3 days.
但是呢，通常来说，一位散亚西他在任何一个家庭里面只能居住3天的时间。
One time Prabhupada went to Kenya in Africa. He was staying in Nairobi, and there's a lot of Indians there, and they all wanted Prabhupada to come to their home.
那有一次呢，施拉帕帕来到非洲的肯尼亚的内罗毕，那么在这个地方呢，有很多的印度人，所有的这些印度人呢，都希望邀请施拉帕帕到他们家里面去居住。
So Prabhupada would go, he'd spend 3 days in one house, then he'd move to another house. Then spend 3 days there, then move to another house.
所以施拉帕帕他做的事情呢，就是在每一家都只会待3天，然后就会挪到下面一个人的家里面去。
Prabhupada said, if you stay longer than 3 days, then it becomes a big burden for people.
因为施拉帕帕说，如果你要是在一个人家里面住了多过3天的话，那么这个对于那家人来讲就会成为一个大的负担。
But 3 days is not long. 3 days is people can tolerate.
但是呢，3天不够长，就3天并不是很长的日子，所以呢，3天人还能忍。
Another time in England, this one man came to England, and he was in England, one Indian man, he came to the temple, he asked Prabhupada to come to his house for food. So Prabhupada asked him, he said, do you cook meat there?
那有一次呢，在英国的一位印度人，他是一个英国人，然后呢，他就邀请施拉帕帕到他们家里面去吃饭，然后施拉帕帕就说，在你们家里面有没有做肉啊？
So the man said, well, sometimes yeah, we do cook meat. Then Prabhupada said, then I will not come.
然后这位就是这个印度人就说呢，有的时候我们家是会做点肉吃。然后施拉帕帕说，那我就不去了。
So you want to bring a sannyasi to your home has to be pure. You cannot have meat eating in the house.
所以说，如果你要是想请散亚西到你们家去做客的话呢，你家里面必须是要纯净的，在家里面是不能够有肉吃的。
So some standards are there. You want the sannyasi to come. They have to
所以
be
说呢，
have to be qualified.
所以呢，如果要是想邀请散亚西到家中做客的话呢，是有一些标准要去遵循的。我们必须要先让自己变得有资格才可以。
So the devotees were inviting Lord Caitanya to come to their home for eating, but Mother Sachi said, no, this time it's my last chance to see him. I don't know when I will see my son again. So this time he's here, I'm serving him. Not you, you have to wait.
那么，所有其他的奉献者呢，也希望能够请Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu到他们家里面去做客。但是萨琪妈妈说呢，这次可能是我最后见我的，就是服务我的儿子的时候，我也不知道我下次什么时候才能见到他。所以这次呢，由我来为他服务，所以你们还得等着。
Mother Sachi said, I have to stay in my home, but my son, he's a sannyasi, he can never return to his home. That's not allowed. Sannyasi is not allowed to return to his home, because if he return to his home, he would see his wife there, so that's not good. So, go ahead.
萨琪妈妈就说呢，因为我必须得住在家里，可是Chaitanya Mahaprabhu他现在成为了散亚西，所以呢他就不可能再回家了。因为他如果要是回家的话呢，因为散亚西他如果回家就会看到他之前的妻子，所以这个不是一件挺好的事儿，所以他就不能再回来。
One time after Tamal Krishna Goswami had taken sannyas, he knew his wife, his former wife, was in the temple, so he didn't want to go to the temple because he knew his former wife was there.
有一次，当Tamal Krishna Goswami Maharaj 接受了散亚西启迪之后呢，他知道他的前妻呢是住在庙里的，但是他又不想在庙里见到他的前妻，所以呢他就没有去庙里。
But Prabhupada called him. He said, "No, you can come to temple." He said, "Temple is neutral ground." He said, "No harm."
然后释迦爸爸就给他打电话说呢，你可以来庙里面，因为庙呢是一个中立的地方，所以呢不会有任何的危险，所以呢你可以来。
So Mother Sachi, what's happening? Mother Sachi she said to the other devotees, you can see Lord Caitanya, you'll get the opportunity to see him other places, but I won't get that opportunity. Haribol? Haribol?